All right, let's go ahead and add a method to check whether we have a customer with a given phone number. So let's go ahead and simply say at and then query. So this will be a JPA query. And right here, let's go ahead and simply say select and then ID, name, phone underscore number from customer, where, and then phone number. And let me put this on a new line so you can see exactly what we're doing. And let me format this as well, just like that. And then where phone number equals to, and then column phone underscore number. And then right here, add a comma. And let's simply say that this will be a native query. So equals true. And now this will return an optional of type customer, and then simply say select customer by phone and then number. And then inside, let's go ahead and have at and then param. So this is telling us that, so right here, let me put this again on a new line. So this is telling that the param will be phone underscore number, and then this will be a string, phone and then number. So this phone number is what gets passed to this query right here, and then this is the actual value, right? And we are saying native query because we don't want to use, for example, right here. So you see that the entity, right, it's called customer with capital C. We don't want to say right here from and then customer, right? We want to use native SQL. So that's why I'm saying native query. And there we go. So now we have this method right here, which will return a customer for any given phone number, right? So I could have simply returned a boolean. For example, I could have said select one, where, and then use the exists keyword. And again, if you want to learn more about SQL, go ahead and check this course right here, where I teach about 5 hours of how to use Postgres and SQL queries and so on and so forth, right? So this is a must course for you if you want to know how to write backend systems. So right here, I'm not using select if exists, but I could have, right? I'm just trying to put things easy for you to understand. So now that we have this method right here, you might be tempted to go ahead and open up the customer registration service, and then here simply say customer and then repository dot, and then select customer by phone number. But I'm not going to do this yet because customer repository, so this is a unit, right? So we want to break these classes into units, right? So we have, so right here, we have this unit customer, and inside we have subunits, right? So or actually classes that make the overall unit, right? So now is the perfect time for us to test this unit right here, because we want to test it in isolation. We want to make sure that whatever we are implementing does work indeed, right? And so far we haven't got no tests around, right? And now we have something that we actually can test, right? So this is the actual unit that we can test. For example, if I open up the service, so right here, so this is empty because we're going to use the repository in a second. And then the request, so this is a model, right? And we never test models. There's no point of you testing this, right? Because this is just models. And then the controller right here, so it's also empty, right? So right here, we actually have in the repository, we have some code that possibly might work or not. And in order for us to know if it works, we have to add a test. And that's what we're going to do next.